Welcome back. Before the break, as Lata was telling you, the numbers that looked stand out this quarter around from the NBFC space is Chola Finance. In fact, the management is joining us now. Just to take you through the numbers, they'll be flashing for you on your screen. The disbursals have been very strong quarter on quarter. It's an 80% jump up that we've seen in disbursals. The asset under management as well has gone up both quarter on quarter and year on year. We have Arulselvan, who's the Executive Vice President and CFO at Chola Investment, who joins us now to talk about whether things have improved and what the way forward is. Mr. Selvan, good morning. A very good set of numbers coming through from the company, but just tell us about how the business is in terms of vehicle financing. We are noticing that now, just in the last 1 month or so, the medium and heavy commercial vehicle space has started to pick up with more demand coming through for tippers, for oil tankers, etc. But can you tell us, where are you seeing the maximum amount of recovery and what do you see as the way forward?
Yes, thank you for the call. And yes, we are seeing recovery happening. Though in the commercial vehicle space, it is still not at in its full form. However, because we have a diversified product portfolio, we were able to do tractors, construction equipments, cars, two-wheelers. So we were able to capitalize on our product strength as well as our geographical spread, because we are more into rural space, and that had helped us also to pick up the disbursements quite quickly. On the liability side, since we had enough funding support from the banks and the institutions, we were able to fund in spite of being, in spite of having offered moratorium to various customers. We see the demand coming back in the festival season this quarter, but we need to see how sustained it will be going forward post the festival season.
Okay. Mr. Selvan, since you said that banks have been a little more open, what has been the cost of funds and therefore recovery in margins?
So cost of funds as a percentage of assets have come down by almost 70-80 basis points, and as percentage of borrowings have come down by 40-50 basis points. Our reliance on banks actually had helped us now, because most of our earlier borrowings also had got reset at the current MCLR rates, which has given us a good amount of margin support, and that is why you will see our NIMs have improved considerably. I think I spoke about this in the earlier conversation also, that our NIMs will improve as we go forward, and that's.
Now even the market is flush with cash, and I guess even mutual funds are willing to buy good NBFC paper. Yields have dropped so sharply. So is there more scope for margins?
Yes, actually this is the time now to move into the money market space and do more of NCTs, and that's what we will be doing, because we want to capitalize on the low rates, which I think over the next few quarters can again move up. So it's better now to lock ourselves into fixed rate borrowings. So that's what we will be focusing in the coming quarters.
Your GNPA has increased by about, it's down by about 12%. But in ratio terms, it's down by about half a percentage point, right? 3.3 to 2.75. Can you give us more color on asset quality? Collections have improved, you said. Just across, if you can say how much is in your mind the stress in the book, and how will it reduce or increase going forward?
See, the whole focus of the company had been on collections over the last quarter. So we had put in all efforts, because there were also apprehensions both from the external world and also even from our side, whether all the moratorium customers will pay. Thankfully, we have seen that the intention to pay is not defaulted, and the customers have started paying. You will see from our report that 95% of the moratorium customers have paid now at least one or more EMIs, because that's the only one EMI has become billed in the September, which is the post-moratorium. And there have been a few who had paid even during the moratorium period. So the intention of the borrowers to continue their loans and then service the loans is no more under question. However, we need to see the sustainability of their ability to pay, and that is crucial in the coming quarter, which will, in my opinion, this will be the most crucial quarter for any NBFC who had been into the moratorium, aspect of extending the moratorium to the borrowers.
Okay.
Because we need to see the sustainability of the cash flows of the borrower and their continuing support and servicing of the loan. Once they do that, I think from Q4 we will be, back to normal or even better.
Okay. So what would your best guess be, that 2.75 it doesn't get worse, or there is a chance that stress will increase?
It may, frankly, the 2.7 is more, I would, at the cost of being, I will say that it is a little, we have pushed it down because of the moratorium also, we have enjoyed some benefit. So it will move up a bit, in my opinion, maybe around 20-30 basis points in the coming quarter, but it will be back to these levels in Q4, because traditionally always Q4 is a good quarter. This is more a conservative view. We would certainly like, and we will make all our efforts to hold it at this level and improve on this even in Q3. But I am just wanting to be, a little conservative about, committing something here.
Sure. I was going through your overall book. 22% of your book comes from the loan against property and the SME segment, and about 5% from home loans, within which there's a big chunk from self-occupied residential property segment. I want to understand what's happening there. Are you seeing more stress in terms of asset quality, particularly for that segment? Can you give us some numbers? How many customers have not paid, say, a single EMI since the month of March?
See, you are referring to the loan against property segment, where the SORP, the self-occupied residential property, is the nature of the underlying asset. The loan is extended only for the business purpose of the customer who has an unencumbered property, and we try and link it to a self-occupied residential property, because then the stickiness of the customer is much better, because he does not want to vacate his self-occupied property. So we have seen the customer behavior on servicing such loans are much better than where they pledge a commercial property or a rented property. So that is the logic behind this. These are not like fresh loans for a home loan purposes.
Okay.
Having said that, the MSME segment is going through stress, and thankfully we are also able to capitalize on the emergency credit guarantee schemes offered by the government. So we were able to give them support by way of extending another 20% of loan. I think we have done around 350 crores of such loans in this segment, and that is also helping them to come back to business and build up their cash earning potential.
Okay. Just a word on your vehicle business. Have you noticed any pickup in commercial vehicles?
In the smaller vehicle sizes, which is the light commercials and the mini lights, there is a pickup, but it is still a negative degrowth, because also we need to factor in last year the first half was a very good period where there was a spurt in demand. However, last year the second half was bad. So as we go along, that base effect will also come into play. There is good demand in the rural for the minis and the lights, and because of also e-commerce picking up, these vehicles are are in demand. But it is not, I would say it is still not it's not still positive growth.
Okay. Just a word. See, MSME customers, did they use the credit guarantee to return some old expensive liabilities?
No, see, basically it is like they are getting 20% of their existing outstandings as of February end. Even if they are servicing one EMI out of it, it is very difficult to corroborate whether out of this money it has come or out of their own personal money it has come. What I can assure you is we are not deducting that towards our overdues and then paying the finance.
Okay. Actually, that was my question. Thank you very much, Arulselvan. It was a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you very much indeed. Certainly, the P&L performance has elated the stock. It continues to rise 5% higher.
Oh yes, and the market also is almost at the high point of the day, especially on the Nifty and the mid-cap index.